This is an Off the Tongue podcast. Welcome to Skate Mansfield.
What's up, Skate Mansfield? What up? How you doing? Here we go. Why isn't the banter button working?
Banter.
Why is my banter button not working?
By the way, you hit a banter during the competition.
I did.
It was a total accident. I could totally tell, but I didn't hear it in my headphones at the time.
No, I didn't.
I didn't hear it at the headphones at the time, but during editing, I was like, there's a little banter in somebody's run, like in the middle of somebody's run. But I was like, that's a nice Easter egg.
Well, because I was just using the thing on the there. Yeah, whatever. I'm BJ Price.
I'm Adam McElroy.
No.
Okay, I'm sorry. Maybe that's who I am. I'm sorry.
I still got the gray button too.
Of course you do.
Yeah, dude. I love
That almost
it's
made
actually,
a really cool beat.
It's that, yeah, dude. Yeah. That was bad.
Well,
That's hard.
Yeah,
to do.
you
I
just
can't do it. Can't do
I
it.
mean, it's over, dude.
The
It was a moment.
The button's
and you
actually
ruined it.
gray too. I made the button.
I bet you did, dude. I bet you did.
Welcome back. We haven't done this in forever.
Yeah, it feels like it. We've decided that today's episode is probably going to be relatively short, like, an hour, 50 minutes, something like that, just because there's so much going on. It's overwhelming.
That's right. It's news time.
From around the world, it's the skate news you need to know.
It's not from around the world. It's that I still don't have
Definitely
the other
all
button on
local.
there.
Like,
all
it's
local.
never around the. I mean, I guess
I don't
sometimes
even remember
it's around
what
the world.
I have that other button somewhere, but either way, it's so yeah, we had tons of stuff going on. We had the winter sessions. The winter sessions have concluded. We did the competition, and it was amazing.
82 different skaters showed up to the winter sessions at some point.
Oh man, it was so
Plus,
good.
there was a ton of just spectators and girlfriends and whoever else, family members.
It was nuts. We probably had 100 people through there that night. It was nuts. It was really good. So it was cool. Shout outs Crossroads. Shout outs Lemon and Bean with making the board behind Adam. I'm pointing at it, but it's
that thing's
Adam.
so beautiful. It's
dope.
amazing.
They did such a good job.
Check out our Facebook if you haven't seen like the close up of it.
Yep,
super cool.
We got some sick pictures up there of it, and now it's now living in the podcast area. So it's exciting to have that. So shout outs them. Shout outs Third Life. Shout outs Brass House. Shout outs McDonald's. Shout outs Stoke. Shout outs everyone, dude.
Backbone Moxie. Shout out Advocate Skatework.
Yeah.
And I
Alpha
think
Omega.
Alpha and Omega. And I think that's all. The whole 30
right there.
list. But I was going off memory because I forgot.
Well, I can see it. So.
But yeah, shout out to everybody.
That was dope.
It was dude. It was amazing. It was just like last year where it was just all positive vibes and
big live stuff. It was so live.
Some of the biggest cheers were from, the beginners, which is always the coolest thing.
That's the thing we love seeing the most.
Yeah.
And then it was dude, it was just well, I mean, there's no spoilers. I mean, we put the video out. It's on the Patreon for free. So if you go click the link, it'll take you to our Patreon for free. Problem is just we played a bunch of music and YouTube didn't like it.
Yeah.
So either way, it's free, but it's up on Patreon.
Just so you guys know,
got a couple follows on there.
Full disclosure, full disclosure. The competition video itself has 32 YouTube strikes on it.
I've seen more.
So it cannot be released, but I'm going to try to do something with the audio if we can. It's going to be difficult.
That's YouTube the whole time. No!
It's going to be difficult, but I'm going to try to get it on YouTube. I also thought, which I haven't done this yet, but
I didn't record in this thing too. If we did that, we could have scrubbed it.
Yeah.
I don't know. It was a wild night.
But I'm wondering if I can put it on Facebook or Twitter or something.
I don't know how all that works.
Yeah,
I think I tried looking into that stuff because we do the music review episodes for the Patreon. If you're not on the Patreon, go check it out. We have music review episodes, and I always had to put them on Patreon. When Patreon released that they will allow you to upload video, because it used to be you'd have to put your
Vimeo,
Vimeo or YouTube URL
in
the Patreon, and it's like an exclusive thing. Now you can upload specifically to their servers for so long or such. And since we were both pretty much on Patreon in the earliest stages of Patreon, we were able to.
That's kind of crazy to think, dude.
For that.
We were on Patreon 5 years ago, bro.
You want to hear something better?
That's crazy.
If you make
We were on Patreon before the pandemic, bro.
That's true.
What's up?
if you make a podcast and you make it past 23 episodes, you're in the top 1% of podcasting.
I've heard that.
That's nuts.
Yeah.
I think that's nuts. I think between the two of us, we've got like 200, 300 episodes.
Oh, way more than that.
Really?
Average AF has 198 loaded, plus all the bonus stuff we did.
Sure.
And then
bonus stuff.
And then we actually recorded all the way up to like 201.
Jeez.
And we just it took us like a month and a half to release the last two, just because I was like, I don't want the editing,
the ending of like when you feel like you're done with stuff like that, it's hard to like push
it like halts, like
just screeching halt.
Yeah. And so we had 200 episodes recorded, but we only ever released 198, and I'm kind of bummed about that we never put out
to the 200.
Yeah, but I'm like,
I get that, but again, I mean,
it was recorded, they were in the vault, and I've even deleted them at this point. Like I'm like, it's just.
Well, there's no reason we can't like recreate that on here. For two more.
And when
at some point we'll get that.
That'd be cool. Like
get a little extra time. That
like
we can do
AAF on the Patreon, like 199 exclusive. Like
I think we can do that.
Fun.
I think there's no reason we can't. But
anywho,
So the competition was amazing. Shout outs Gunner.
Gunner again won.
I
proved why he was Sodi.
I think he's going for Sodi again. So
yeah, no doubt.
Because
there's rumors out there. I'm just saying, there's rumors out there that the kid's got some Nyjah clips out there. So
yeah, there's been some
locked up in the vault.
People came to us that he's also we've already talked to him about it, but I think we're gonna do a Sodi trip.
We are doing a Sodi.
Yeah, I think when Adam and I talked about it, I think we'll do a 2-day where we'll just do one day we'll go to Columbus, and then the next day we'll go to Cleveland.
And that general area, yeah, and basically. We told Gunner a while ago, and I'll check with him again right after the competition. I think it was that night or the day after. He messaged me and said, "When are we going on the Sodi trip?" And I'm like, "Dude,
I think it was that night.
I think it was later that night. Yeah. I'm like, "Man, the kid's so hungry. I love it." But
which is great.
Pick 5-ish spots in each place.
Yep.
The more street, the better, to be honest.
If we can get in some street, that'd be
cool. So I'm
thinking we'll have to go on like a Sunday.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And but yeah, it's also
him and bring 2-3 buddies, whoever he wants to bring.
Yeah, we'll stack it a bit with who we can. I'm also like, dude. I mean, just to continue talking about the Sodi stuff, it's like, man. For us, like Thrasher, like Gary explained it the best for the Thrasher stuff. It's like it's what you do for this magazine, and for the Skato, if you're gonna be Skate Ohio Skater of the Year, it's what you do for the community as well. Yeah. Gunner was there at the Build Your Own Board.
Yep, he's helping everybody. He's out here shredding on the streets. He's always at Brass House. He was at Winter Sessions at least most of the nights. I don't know about every night, but most of the nights. Came to the comp, threw down.
Yep.
I mean, what more can you ask for?
Yeah, it's
about to put out a Sodi video at some point in the next few months whenever we go on that. So
it's big on that. So if you want to be our Sodi, if you want to start pushing, it's about that. It's about that footage. It's about your how it's your progression more than the footage and the stuff you put out there.
Yeah.
It's how hard you're pushing.
And I love this too. I love this too because right now we're starting to see it with all the work that's being done at Liberty and the Brass House stuff, all the
showing
stuff
up to those things. That's a big part of this too.
That, and we're getting back to the season of clips because now people are out skating again and posting, and I'm like, yes, this is what I want. This is what I want to see.
I don't know if it's going to be a Skate Ohio thing, but a big thing that I want to do. The little video that I put out last year where I went to Millersburg. And I had that old man skate sesh. I was skating with some dudes who were in their 50s, and it was. And
they found the video, didn't they? And they commented,
did.
I think.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah.
And I want to do it again. I want to have our own old man bowl sesh. I'm gonna bring the Traeger trailer out there.
40 plus.
Dude, yeah, dude.
38 plus.
Yeah.
Something like that.
Yeah, and just because I've already talked to my buddies. I've talked to the Justin and Justin and John and the dudes. I'm like, hey, we gotta do this. We gotta do an old man bowl.
Well,
sesh.
what year were you born?
84.
84. So do 84 like 1984 and earlier,
Yeah.
you were born, and do like an 80s theme bowl sesh or something.
That'd be so dope.
That'd
Dude.
be fun.
I would buy a
Or
whole
even
new setup for
70s.
that.
Who cares? But
I'd buy a Hosoi. Well, I'd get. I still got that Hosoi board somewhere. I'd get a Hosoi setup. Go put some rails on it. Go shred.
you never know what we're gonna get in the next couple weeks, dude.
Oh, that's also true. Should we tell the people? that we got gifted.
Yeah, I don't know if we have or I don't know. Dude, it's
dude.
been so long.
It's pretty.
It's been so long that I don't even know what we've talked about. But
There's so much.
shout out again, Travis at Advocate Skateworks. He hooked it up. He just DM'd me one day and said, "Hey, what's your email?" And I gave him my email, and he said, "Cool, I'm gonna get you in contact with somebody."
then he just like.
Yeah, and then I'm like, "Okay, dope," you know.
He's like a little nonprofit angel.
Yeah, beautiful, love it, appreciate it. And then about 24 hours later, I get an email from. I don't even remember the dude's title because it was so many things, but like the director of like merchandising or something of Vans, and he emailed us and
man, I had one for that.
basically said, "Hey, we got some decks we're trying to give away. How many you need?"
Oh, there it was.
And he said,
He's the man of the house.
I'm the man of the house.
He's the man of the house.
he said, if it's anywhere between 10 and 100, I can make it happen. And we were like, whoa.
Anywhere between 10 and 100.
Yeah. So it's like, well, we're not going to be
Adam's
greedy.
texting me furiously. He's like, well, what do we ask for?
Well, yeah, what do we do? Like, nobody's ever been this nice. But we agreed. Should we say the amount, I guess?
Wasn't it 25?
Yeah,
That's what I
25.
went with, baby.
Yeah, we're like 25 will be good. That way we can
saying, baby.
do a lot of fun things this summer with them. Those will probably last us to the end of the year if I'm being honest, but we'll see what we want to do with them and
right,
things
bro.
like that. Raffles
It's
or
lit.
giveaways, whatever it ends up being.
Yeah, we're going to have some events coming up. That's another thing we needed to talk about. Is we're
Oh,
like
go
kinda-
skate day. Yeah, we were talking about.
Yeah, we're actually...
Oh yeah, and the geez, the after
Can't
hours.
really talk-
and
yeah, so it's like...
God, man, like,
There's been a lot, so I
there's
got
so
to,
much.
I
I
got to meet
forgot
with-
about that whole.
I got to meet
aspect.
with Richland Source, Haley over at Richland Source, and she's
Shouts
like,
out.
shouts out.
She's
to
always
her.
around too.
She is. She's always hyping us up and all
Yep.
that too. She loves what we're doing. She's awesome. So, but she hit me up and she's like, "Hey, we were talking about trying to partner with you guys for the Richland Source After Hours. If you guys don't know, Richland Source After Hours, our boy Zach Heiser over there. Shouts out to him.
Shout out Zach. I've known Zach for like a decade,
Right.
Which is crazy.
But he does he really oversees the after hours stuff. And what Haley said is she wanted to talk to us about partnering with that because we're looking to maybe even set up some ramps, get some kids down there skating while
Yep.
music's going on because they're doing their after hours. I'm pretty sure they're going to be mainly down. Like if you haven't been to one of the ones where they do it in the basement garage area, like in the alley behind the Idea Works area there. So that's where they're all going to be this year, I think.
Gotcha.
And they're all themed. I know there's going to be a lot more coming out.
Yeah.
But we're going to partner with them, hopefully with. They're like, you can do one of them, you can do all of them. And I'm thinking when we talked at the board meeting, I was thinking of maybe doing 3 of them.
And how many are
there's
there?
one on
4 or 5?
There's 5.
5.
But one of them's on Go Skateboarding Day. So I'm
Right.
like, well, we should definitely hook up for that one.
Yeah.
And these are like Friday nights.
And then I remember us talking about that too because then, Brass House and Liberty and everybody else locally can have their stuff like during the day.
Yep.
And then at like, whenever it is, 6 p.m., 7, 8, whatever.
Yeah.
It's like, hey, the after party is at the after hours. Like,
Yep.
Come skate, come throw down, come.
I think it'll be dope. I'm
Yeah.
excited to see
Yeah.
what that's going to bring. So all these things are happening. On the stuff that I didn't talk to you yet, Adam, about.
Yeah, he's got other news. Every time, like, the crazy thing about all of this is our DM, like our texts and stuff like that, is just 80% of like news and updates and thoughts and like, what if we do this? And oh, this is happening.
Right.
And like, so that's the majority of what we talk about. And it's all pretty much skateboarding related. And even then, every time we meet, we're like, oh, by the way, I'm doing this too. And you're doing that. And then, oh, this news came out. And I talked to this person.
I
What? Like,
love that we're like.
there's too
we're
much to
pursuing-
text about.
Yeah. And I love that we're able to pursue slightly different angles.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's like.
Yeah.
You know, I've been able to meet with some more locally, and you've been able to do all this business stuff, and I'm just like, man, this is it's working.
That's what
well.
I'm good at. Yeah,
we're meshing well there. So.
Yeah. I don't look like a businessman, but in here it is.
It's all business.
Business, bro.
It's all business. So I was talking with Asa again. If nobody knows, Asa is the guy who's over at American Ramp Company who's been helping me with this journey of getting Lexington and Shelby fixed. Now it looks like if that half pipe's still in Galleon, I think we need to get Galleon on that list.
I was gonna say I had no idea about that.
I thought it was all gone. I used to skate that half pipe when I was little.
I was literally about to like reply to the comment and be like, "Hey, this needs to be on the list." Like,
yeah,
but I knew I was like, he already knows that. Yeah,
we're gonna get it.
Yeah.
So, but anyway, yeah. So I was talking with Asa the other day. I was driving to pick up my kids.
By the way, shout out Josh Adkins for fixing the half pipe there.
Yeah, dude.
We shouldn't brush over that part.
No,
dude's a legend for doing that.
And just hit me up in those comments and said, "Hey, hit me up. I'm right down the road from there." I'm like, "Yeah, I want to get over there and skate. And I'm going to text you every time that I'm gonna go."
Shouts out, Josh.
Dude, big shouts. So I'm talking with
This is the shout out episode, by the way. I've already decided that's the name. We shouted out so many people, which is good though.
Dude, shout out Zane.
Shouts outs.
Shout out Zane for that kickflip over the A-frame, dude. That just freaking blew my mind.
Yeah, that was a 9, highest score of the contest.
Dude,
beautiful.
The high, yeah, that was the like I think the first official like contest 9.
Yeah.
Like for like what we're officially.
Yeah.
Anyway, I just had to say that because I just watched it again and I'm just like, man.
I know. I watched it
because from where we were, it looked dope, but from the camera angle, I'm like, that looked even better.
Yeah,
that was dope. So
shout out Dakota for filming and Tony. Yeah, I knew that. He was a good dude. We talked a couple times.
Another thing that just happened today.
Oh my god!
On my way out of church this morning, I ran into Tony and just said, dapped him up, and I'm like, hey man, all this stuff. And he just told me that he's like, hey, just so you know, I've got an ice cream truck and a food truck and stuff. If you guys ever need something like that, I'm like,
yeah.
Whoa. I'm like, just so you know, I know Caleb's having trouble finding some for Stoke Run and he's got some events coming up. He's like, yeah, give him my number. So shout outs Tony.
Shouts outs.
Shouts outs to Creston and Steven.
Yep.
Steven just broke his knee.
Really?
Bombing a hill.
Steven who?
No, you've met him once, probably at Stoke. Creston's big, tall, goofy.
I know
dude.
Creston.
Okay, yeah.
He did the thing into the foam pit,
yes.
the shot. Yeah,
yes.
I know him.
So him and
did he ever
Steven
get his
skates
shirt?
with him? He did. He ran into me today. He's like, I was supposed to show up and get the shirt, but I had a Bible study, and I'm like, it's okay. I'll get it. You can just come to my house. I will get you shirts. I'll get you stickers. I'll get you whatever you want.
You didn't have to redeem that coupon in 72 hours, bro.
Yeah, dude, it's all good, but it was just cool. He's such a cool dude.
This is definitely the name drop episode.
But I guess I want to talk to Steven about it. I didn't get to talk to him. I saw him sitting out in the lobby, but I didn't see it. But Tony's like, yeah, he had a walker and all that stuff. I'm like, it's that bad? But apparently he had adrenaline running. This is all third hand. I'm going to talk to Steven and be sure. But he was bombing a hill, went down to his knee and like broke it. And like adrenaline running, he just hopped back up and was like kind of running around on it. And then he like skated like back to the car or whatever. Yeah. And so it's bad. Apparently it's pretty messed up. Dang. So I don't know what all that entails, but I want to
That's why I don't hill bomb.
That's not why you don't. There's so many other.
You could name anything that happens on a hill, and that's why I don't do it.
I want to get back to bombing hills.
Nope.
So my wife ain't gonna be cool with that, but it's
fine.
So where are we go? Oh, okay, so I was talking to Asa.
Yeah, I was gonna say we went on 17 tangents.
I'm chatting with Asa, and I'm just talking to him. He's like, "Hey, I just want to touch base. Where are you at with Shelby? Where are you at with this? Where are you at with that?" And I just kind of give him the update.
We really got to start
big.
We got to start pushing for documentation, like for Shelby.
Just wait. So I talked to Asa, and he's like, hey, we have these projects going now. There's one in your area coming up in a little while. And I said, I'm like, hey, let's say that I go and I start getting the funding and I reach my goal and I call you and I say, here's what I want. What's my lead time? He's like, we're like 5 to 7 months.
Dang.
And I'm like, no. Like I would like in the car, it's like I'm like smiling. It's like, oh.
Yeah.
Like I was just like kind of deflated. But I understand. And he's like, hey, I've been here long enough and we do have a project in your area. If you are able to raise that money, if we can figure it out, I might be able to pull strings that we can actually kind of like, because he's got, there's one in the Dayton area that they're doing.
Okay.
That's
Not really
that
our area, but
but for
our
them,
state, yeah,
with them
yeah.
going all over the place, it's for it's
Yeah.
technically in our area.
because they're in Montana, right?
Yes, and
Yeah.
so but they do it all over,
Yeah.
like North America. I think they do some South America. I don't know if they did like worldwide or not. I'll have to ask him. But excuse me. But he's like, hey, I could pull some strings if you could. Like, we have to get funding by like the beginning of June. And I was just completely deflated. I'm like, how am I going to get this?
Yeah.
How am I going to do this?
We got 5
I got
weeks.
home and I was just talking to Hannah. I'm like, I was just talking to Asa, and this is kind of what's going on. She's like, oh man, that's rough. She's like, that's not impossible, but
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah, but I don't know if I can make all that happen. And for me, it's just like, oh man, I've had this goal of like getting this done and having these parks done this year. And if I don't have funding by June, this is a possibility of it not happening this year.
Well, in all fairness, concrete at Lexington is the big thing that we promised.
Right.
And that
That doesn't rely on them. No.
yeah, and
but-
that getting done is just already massive.
Yes.
So if we can even get that far,
But it get.
But I know what you
Adam,
mean.
It
I know
gets.
what you mean.
It gets better.
I know that's why I'm letting you go, because I'm like, there's a turning point to this story. I know
So
this.
I'm bummed, but it's also for me. I just like kind of like I'm just sitting there. I'm in my head, and I just start praying, and I'm like, man, God, you were opening these doors, and now it just seems like I don't understand. I'm like, I don't know what I do next. I feel just defeated, and I'm like, I don't know what to do next. It's in your hands. I'm waiting for you to do something again. I'll do the footwork again. I promise. I'm still going, and I just thinking about it. I get up in the morning and I have an email from Dave Downs. Shout outs, Dave. Dave Downs is on the city council over there in Shelby, and I have an email from him. He's like, hey man, sorry it took me so long to get back to you, but I just need to know what this letter needs to say, and I'll hand it to you.
Nice.
And so I'm just like kind of freaking out, and I like email him back, and I just say, hey, I just need basically what we're telling the city of Shelby is
generalized.
I'm just saying, we're gonna have the Adopt-A-Park, and it's the main thing is that we're able to fundraise for new obstacles. We're able to alter anything there on the park. As long as it is, skateboarding based and related, in that it is an upgrade, not to tear anything out or do anything without the city's approval, but we get to build and adjust and do all that stuff. That anything that we do fundraise for, it's still is the property of the city of Shelby.
Yeah.
Just a
General
bunch of those
maintenance,
all
maybe.
of this stuff,
Yeah.
and that we're able to do those things, and that the Skate Ohio is the owner of the Adopt-A-Park, so we can do that, and we can have we're able to have events there. All the same rules apply to the park overall.
Park, yeah.
All of that. So I'm like, if it just says all that stuff, and I send that out, and he's like, cool, I'll make it happen. And so that was just like a big turning point this week, because I'm telling you, I was beat up there for a bit.
Did we ever get documentation from Lexington?
Yeah, I got some weird, very vague documentation from them. It's like Brenda told me, she's like, it's all cool. And I talked to Pete after that as well, and he's just like, yeah, man, we're cool. I'm like, okay, cool, because the wording on this is nonsense.
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't even understand the words that are on this thing, but I mean,
whatever.
It's just,
Doesn't matter what you think.
Yeah.
we're doing it either way. But so things are moving.
Yep.
And I've been making more connections. We have a list of grants that we can actually apply for. There's 2 on a big list that Asa sent me that I want to apply for. So I need a grant writer to do that. His big thing, when I was talking to him, I'm like, I don't know what to do. I'm looking to reach out to some grant writers. He's like, hey, most cities have somebody on their payroll that specifically does grant writing. Talk to them.
Okay.
So I talked to Eric over at Lexington, and I said, hey, do you guys got a grant writer? He's like, well, it's Pete, but he's new, because Andy, when he retired, he was the one who did all those grant writings and stuff. And I'm like, okay, cool. He's like, I might reach out to him. He's like, well, yeah, because he's like hourly, you know, that whole thing that they did.
Yeah,
He's
yeah,
like,
yeah.
Well, if he comes on as, I'm like, no, I'm going to reach out to him personally,
Right.
and just talk to him and be like, hey, can you help me write this grant?
Right.
Just because I'm like, I don't see him saying no to me.
Yeah.
I mean, it's one of those things. It's not what you know,
If
it's
it's
who you know.
if it's official business, he can say no. If it's like
Exactly.
a buddy that's like, hey,
It's
can you
just
help
like,
me out?
I need to know how to properly fill out because some
Yeah.
of these grants can be like 19 pages and you have to have certain
yeah.
information and all that. So that's why a grant writer is a job, and that's why at like these Connected Mid Ohio events, there's like a lot of people there who's like, hey, if anybody needs a grant writer, that's what I do. I got like when we were going to those Connected events, I'm like, well, I was a grant writer, and why do these people exist?
Right.
But there was like multiple of them. But yeah, now I know and understand, because that's a lot of like nonprofits
Legal
survive.
jargon.
Yeah, a lot of these like nonprofits survive off of these grants, but
Yeah.
they have to have somebody on their payroll that specifically all they do is keep applying for grants so they
Yeah.
can keep the money flowing in.
By the way, pause just for half a second. Thought about the Richland Foundation ones we were sent.
Yeah,
Those were ones already given out. So
Yes.
I don't know if we can.
yeah.
qualify for
Shout
that,
outs, Brian,
but-
for thank you.
But
Thank you
yeah,
for
yeah,
thinking.
yeah.
Thank you for thinking of us as
Yeah,
we're doing
but
that.
we
Yeah, those
were-
are ones that are
We were
already
late,
funded,
apparently,
basically.
to that. Yeah.
And it's
It
okay.
is what it is.
I'm still. I do have somebody. My boss is in the know with Brady Groves, who is now the head of the Mill Iron Family Fund, which is a nonprofit. Well, it's an organization to give out money for community projects and stuff. And the Mill Iron family is in the Shelby area, so hopefully they can help us with that. And then the Richland Foundation. I think it's Allie. Is it Allie who took it over? Anyway, but again, I know somebody who knows her personally, so
Yeah.
we're going to get introduced here soon.
Yeah.
I'm going to give the whole spiel. There's another thing that we're. What was
So
the
real
other
quick
thing?
too, while you're thinking of that, there's been a lot of questions to me. I'm sure you've been getting them too. That's like, now that the winter sessions are over, what are you guys doing? And we have some events things coming up, the Richland, after hours type stuff. But like the main thing right now is this business side, to where we have to buckle in and like really go full force into these grants, into business meetings, into all this kind of stuff to be able to get this done.
Yeah, I'm going to start
before
walking
the
into
winter.
businesses. I need money.
So like that's
Nah.
what we're doing now. So like it's gotten to a point again where it kind of was before the winter sessions, where we're doing more stuff behind the scenes,
Right.
to where you might not be physically seeing us putting on events and things like that right now.
And I can't
But-
stress enough that you and I talk about this a lot, but I mean, it's just
Yeah.
like we have to tell people, because we get hit up on social media and in person and
Yeah.
stuff all the time, where it's like Adam and I work like 50 plus hours a week at a job.
Yeah.
We both have kids who are involved in sports
That
and
aren't
families.
skateboarding.
Yeah, that isn't skateboarding. That's a
Yeah.
big thing. Like if my kids were super involved in skateboarding, I might be able to be like,
We'd be at Stoke
pounding
Run
the
a lot
pavement.
more.
Yeah,
Like
pounding the pavement and getting
Yeah.
more done and talking
Yeah.
more about skateboarding. But my kids aren't super into it. Like my oldest likes to longboard with me occasionally, but it's not their passion right now.
and I mean we do have the board that helps us a lot, but like
Yeah.
it's us two that are doing
Yes.
99% of this, and then we
We're making
kind
the
of
phone calls and pounding the pavement and doing
and then we
all
kind of go to the board every like 2 or 3 months. Like, these are our ideas. This is what's happening. What do we need to do better? What do you guys think? How
And it's
do we
also-
alter this? Like,
I am so thankful.
they
to
help
the,
us a lot too.
to the board and in certain
They help us with direction,
man.
which that's what we need. We're so all over the place that those board meetings really just like funnel everything into this is what needs to be done next.
But especially
So they're super
Caleb and
vital.
Brennan, but they
Yeah.
also have the capabilities for a lot of what we're doing, being able to help with stuff out at Stoke Run, and they're able
Right.
to, we're able to do a lot of like collabing there, and with Brass House, there's a lot of collaboration that can happen there. But it's also
Yeah.
these, like Adam and I will burn ourselves out like in a heartbeat for
Yeah.
for just because that's, I mean, our work ethic and stuff.
That's just what we
at our
do.
jobs. It's what we do.
Yeah.
But it's nice in those board meetings where
People are like, hey, slow down.
Yes.
You don't need to do
Yes.
all that. And it's like, but it's such a good idea.
Yes, we
like,
look at
so
these
what?
things and we're just like, oh, we want to do this maybe once a month. Well, we could probably do twice a month if we want.
Right. What do you think
And
of
then-
every other Thursday? And they're
then-
like, bro.
They're like, no, like even Brennan, he's like, stop. He
That's-
just looked at it. He's just looked at us and
We-
he's just like, you have to stop. He's like, you can't.
To put it
that.
in perspective, we booked ourselves for, if it was once every 2 weeks, we booked ourselves for like 6 to 8 events that we wanted to do this summer within like 60 seconds. And he's like, stop.
Yeah.
Like, it's like, oh yeah. Like,
Which
he's
is
like,
nice.
don't commit to that on a
You
whim.
need those checks and balances
For
as
sure,
well. So
for sure.
that is so helpful
Yeah.
as well. Just for me because
We redline is
Yeah.
what BJ's saying. We redline all day long.
dude, it gets
And we need somebody that
gets
pulls
wild.
the e-brake. Like, hey,
We'll do it live.
yeah,
we get wild.
Yeah.
When it goes to that stuff.
it's
So-
just all ideas.
It is, and it's we figured out because a lot of like the original winter sessions and the event afterwards was literally, what if we do this and then we just
Yeah.
did it. There wasn't like
No
months
planning,
of preparation
no
and doing all this
sponsors, no
stuff, no
nothing.
sponsors, no nothing. It was just like
Barely any ramps.
I'm like I'll ask, and then it's like boom, it's like okay cool, I'll find some ramps. Okay cool.
you
And
know,
then-
you know how this is just a little insight. You guys want to know how things become official with us? Is when they go on the Facebook page.
Yeah.
Like once they go in the group or like on the Skate Ohio page, it's like, all right, this is happening, and it's like
that's
nobody-
our life.
You
Is,
can either like
Yeah.
complain or you can skate.
I mean, that's the whole deal.
right. But now to bring it back to my point is now we got to focus on the business side
That's what I'm
to
saying.
raise all this money and all
go.
this kind of stuff. So we might not be,
Yeah.
just popping off ideas and like crazy stuff in the group and
And we still want to hear from you guys and like,
Oh,
hey,
no
you
doubt,
guys
no
should
doubt.
do this and all that stuff. And when I first read that stuff and I'm like, you have no idea all the stuff we're doing. You don't
Well-
get it. But then it's like we do listen to those things and we try to bring those things in as well.
I mean, think about this. Just from what we've mentioned today, we have however many business meetings and stuff we have to do, or city council meetings
Yeah, there's-
with
two
just
coming up.
building the parks and things like that,
Yeah.
or renovating or whatever.
Yep.
We have the 3 to 5 after hours events that we're talking about. We have the Mansfield Music Fest that we're talking about, and we have the Attack the Spot ones that we want to do as well.
I think we can
And
knock
that's-
out 2 of those this year.
Sure, but that's what I'm saying. Like that already is a whole
That's
summer's
how much.
worth.
Yeah, it is.
And on top of just whatever else.
Well, and
you know
also
what I mean?
Stokes gonna have
Yeah,
events
I mean,
that we
I'm
need
saying,
to be
like,
there.
there's countless other things as well along top, and it's just us two physically sitting down and sending emails
don't
and
think
making phone calls and like
I don't have it in on anything but my phone, but I want to show
and group
I wanna
text
show
and
you
all
guys
that kind of
something real
stuff.
quick.
So like, yeah,
Where is
we
Okay, I
The-
don't know. Let's see if you can see it.
yep,
Why
I
did
can
it-
see it.
Why
I can
did
see
it
it.
freeze? Okay. Do you see what
That's
that is?
beautiful. Like a double layer ledge
Yeah,
type
it's
thing.
2 steps.
Yeah,
Right? But
yeah.
they're wide steps and it's
Definitely
like
grindable.
12 foot or so long.
There you go.
It was at the hardware store and I saw it and I'm like,
Mine,
it was
please.
the other money. I'm like, Jackie, can I have that? She's like, I've already told like 5 other people no. First, I was waiting for you to ask me. I'm like, yes.
Yeah.
So my plan with that thing is because the back of it's open, I'm gonna like clean it all up, sand it all down. I'm gonna seal all the wood, and then I'm
Yeah.
gonna build a bank off the back of the stairs and I have a really long a rail that long that was left by the play place people at Crossroads.
right on top.
So it's going to be a bank to like coping basically, and then the other edge is I'm gonna see if I can get. I'm gonna talk to Caleb about ramp armor, put ramp armor on it and everything, and then put angle iron on the steps. It's gonna be a dope obstacle.
But that's what
It's
I'm saying.
really heavy though. That is a problem. when I
That's
put
what
all
I'm
that
saying.
stuff-
Like, that's something you saw and
Yeah.
just made not a big. I mean, that's totally awesome, and we're gonna do that, and that's
I'm
the
excited
stuff
for
we
that.
like to do.
it's gonna be dope.
But that's just another thing added to the list. It's like, okay, now we got to cut dimensions. Now we got to get the rail. Now we got to build this, and it's like,
Yeah, it doesn't just happen.
yeah, but like that's my point. Like we've mentioned the 4 or 5 bigger things we're doing between now and like September. like 6 months, and that's already a ton. And then it's like, oh, and we want to do this and this little event, and we got to do this.
I'm
and
gonna finally finish these doors
Yeah.
that
I mean-
belong down here. See, I got the one door in. You see that?
Oh, nice. I did not see that,
Hey.
but nice.
I put a door in this morning.
But yeah, it's endless. So again, if we're not gonna go ghost, we're still gonna post, we're still gonna do things, but like,
Just saying, shouts out to BJ.
shout out to BJ. But like, there's so much going on, and again, we have full-time jobs, we have kids, we have like that are in sports this summer, birthdays coming up, like it's just like
It's bonkers.
there's a
but,
lot. There's a lot going on.
Yeah, so I guess the big thing is
So many
on, Bert.
partnerships coming up too. I mean,
yeah, and
jeez.
my main things are still getting Lexington done
Yeah, for
and
sure.
getting Shelby up to snuff.
For sure.
Now I want to get Galleon up to snuff, but that's good.
Yeah.
That's got to be pushed. I
How's
gotta
the ground?
get these things.
It sounds like the ground at Galleon's good, right?
I guess. Let me look at that picture again. Hold on. Let's do it this way.
There was another one that he posted, or somebody posted too. It might have been that same one, where it shows the curbs that are.
Yeah, there were
Like
two
next-
curbs there, which
Yeah.
curbs are dope. So,
Yeah.
I mean, if we got to pick them up and move them or do something.
Yeah, but it showed the ground. I didn't really look at it that closely,
Oh
so
my gosh, go faster, you dumb thing. Here we go. I'm getting there.
Rudel,
Dude.
But yeah, so I guess while he's doing that, a good
Oh.
time to.
So
Okay.
here's that half pipe that he was
Yeah.
talking about, and I mean
It's
it's a dope
functional.
half pipe. Yeah, it'll work.
No, I'm talking about the
That's fine.
ground. The ground. Looks,
Yeah, the ground is
Okay.
it's pavement, so it would be dope to get some concrete here too.
Yeah.
So that might be a fight, getting some concrete there, but I think it's possible.
Yeah.
I think it's entirely. Look at that. That coping's really inset too. That's a
Yeah,
lot of
it's
roll up.
super
Dude,
mellow.
there's some. Yeah, for an old guy like me, not getting hung up. It's just good to look at stuff.
Yeah.
Because
Shout out,
if
Josh.
you look, shout out Josh. Yeah, shout outs. But if you look at the coping here and how
Yeah.
the actual this goes up and it doesn't look like the coping is a big bonky coping.
Yeah.
A lot of times
There's, like, no
it's just
overlap.
nice. It's just nice to kind of roll up and over. These are ones where you can pop up and
It feels like
manual
a
and come over.
grindable kicker, basically.
Yeah, pretty much.
You just roll
So
right
I'm
off
excited.
the
I want to
top.
go skate with Josh. I'm gonna go do
Yeah.
it because I used to skate there when we used to take trips there when I was like, I don't know, probably 17, 19.
Yeah.
I don't know. We used to go there, but where's the? Yeah, he has a picture of the
There it
curbs.
is, yeah.
These are the curbs, and so he's got like two curbs there. There's some grass coming out of
Noise.
the pavement there.
Noise.
That's a thing. But there used to be a ton of ramps here, like when I was young. So they must have all deteriorated or gone away.
Yeah.
But anyway, I'm excited to go skate.
But yeah, so Galleon's officially on the list.
Yeah.
Not as far as Lexington and Shelby because we haven't talked to anybody, but it's on the list.
Right. So,
But if we can get Ontario, Galleon, Shelby, and Lexington, that's going to
Set.
cover
we're set,
so many things can cover that. Like
man.
take a church van,
Well, here's the other
you know,
big
to
one.
take kids on.
We just discussed as well. I was talking with Ori because he and his one wheel buddies were going right past my house.
Noise.
And I was cleaning up my driveway so I could skate in it. And he stopped and we were chatting. And he's got some meetings with city officials and stuff this past week. So I don't know what came of it. But we talked about, dude, for like $2,500 to $5,000, can we get just like two little quarters, you know, like two like 8-foot wide quarters and a rail or a box or something like that to put at multiple parks, John's Park, Maple Lake
Yeah.
Park, just different places. So there's lots of little options
Right.
so that we can really start to integrate more of those small,
Yeah.
tight-knit communities. Like in the Maple
Yeah.
Lake Park, that whole area there,
Right.
there's people there we can reach out to.
Yeah.
I don't think we even talked about on here where we're looking to. I have a meeting with NECIC at some point. Aurelia was on vacation, so I didn't want to bother him anymore. But hopefully, when he's back, I get to go meet with the president of NECIC. talk about the grant dollars that they have to hopefully put a half pipe in at North Lake Park. Is kind of the idea. A half pipe would be about 30 grand, which I think I had. Just give me a second.
It's
here.
in the emails, but I don't know if you want to pull those up.
Which I can. But it's
to Brennan's point, that would be what, like a 10-minute ride to Liberty?
Yeah.
It's right along the bike trail, right?
Why do I have to verify it's me? You know it's me.
But yeah, that's something that we didn't even really think of. But again, that's where the board comes in handy because Brennan is obviously very familiar with Mansfield and what goes on in certain parts and how to get places and who we need to talk to and things like that. And he even said, a half pipe at North Lake Park, you can skate the bike trail from there all the way to Liberty, and then it just immediately connects the two parks.
Right.
Because it's like, all right, we did a little street sesh here at Liberty. Let's go cruise down to the half pipe. And it's like, that's crazy.
It would be great to be able to hit multiple... Don't do that. Don't do that. It would be great to hit multiple, just the parks where they can see a lot of the different like stuff. You know what I mean? And we can make them all just like enough, like different enough that you want to go. It's like, well, let's go over here. It has that cool obstacle. Or let's go over here. Right. Just like of me taking those stairs, I could put that at one of these places. Right. And then that doesn't cost us much of anything because I'll have the lumber. I'll seal it all. Right. Let's
That'd
say
be a sweet
$100
thing at Shelby.
Yeah, I thought about that, but I also thought, I'm like, well, if we're going to get ARC to do ramps there, maybe we focus on that. And we put this thing at, like, if they say, okay, yeah, you could do that at Maple Lake. Right. Let's drop it in there because that's one thing that doesn't cost a lot. And then pay, like $2,000, get some quarter pipes. Yeah. I don't know. It's a thought. But this is the half pipe I got quoted. It's $30,000, needs an area of 40 by 20, but it's a 3-foot high half pipe. But it's 12 foot wide.
Now, do they put the concrete down for that too?
No,
or
that's not that. This is just the rig.
Then why do they need a 40 by 20?
Well, they're just saying that that's normally the area that you have.
Okay.
That's the area, like the overall area they want you to have. Right. Just because of
for anchoring and all that. Okay.
So I don't know what all we'd have to do, but at least this thing's $30,000. Let's say NECIC gives us $15,000.
$200,000.
If they give us half, if they give us
$100,000,
that'd be dope. Shouts out to them, man.
Yeah.
But there's potential if we can get grant money that way, and we can make something like that happen. Then that means we can pour into that community sooner, right? Yeah. And that community really needs us to pour into.
And that's specifically North End, right? Like just Mansfield in general, but like. They're kind of focused on that end.
On that area, so John's Park.
So none of that money would obviously go to like Lexington or Shelby or anything. But
no.
That's fine. But yeah, we need connections that are willing to donate to Lexington or Shelby or just us in general. You can do that as well.
Opportunities of people that I can go talk to now. So that's kind of where we sit right now. Yeah. With a lot.
By the way.
Stuff.
Fun fact, I was telling Baker this yesterday. The one fun thing about being a nonprofit is that I can literally reach out to anybody on the planet and be like, "You want to collaborate?" Yeah. So the flannel company that I like a lot is called Dixon Flannels, and they do like little patches on here with like whoever they're collaborating with and like a little tag. And so I sent them an email and I was like, "Hey, what do you guys think of a Skate Ohio flannel?" And I was like, a portion of the proceeds can go to the nonprofit. You guys take a little bit, I said our logo's simple. It's white and black. It could be a black, white, grayish flannel. Like there's 1,300 people in the group, plus any skaters in the whole state. Like
if that happened on that, I know I'd buy one, so I don't know how everybody else out there. Clearly wearing flannel right now. So,
but it'd be dope. And I emailed them just their info email, and they responded, "Hey, email promotions@dixon.com." And so I did.
That's not a no.
Yeah, so I copied and pasted and immediately sent it to them. So, but it was like It was like yesterday afternoon, so I don't expect it.
Yeah, I mean, we'll hear something hopefully.
They might not even
dope.
respond. But yeah, I was like, that's the cool thing is I can reach out to anybody on the planet and be like, I have a nonprofit. You wanna collaborate somehow? Like, what can we do together?
There's
I'm like, that's so fun.
always something.
That's so fun.
I do like doing that. Just like saying it's like, hey, we're 501c3. We can give you, tax credits, baby.
Yep.
And it has gotten us places with, some stuff.
Yeah.
I don't know, not a ton of stuff,
For sure.
but it's still
definitely
cool.
we've seen it change people's mind, at least a little
Then
bit.
it was
like,
just two degenerates
okay.
asking for stuff. So it
right,
was
right.
it changed a lot when we're like, oh, you legit?
Yeah. Okay.
You legit?
All right.
All right. We're listening now.
All right.
We listening.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, there's so much going on, dude. Like, what else?
I don't know. There's other stuff going on. I mean,
There's so much.
oh, we got a warehouse.
Oh, yeah. We just happen to have a warehouse now, by the way.
That's another
What do you
thing.
think of that?
our boy Jim Oberlin, my guy,
Shouts.
he donated warehouse space for us to keep all these ramps that we built in the Mansfield area, so that we I don't have to run them all the way out to Stoke Run out in the middle of nowhere. Which is great. I mean, Caleb was willing to. He's like, hey, if you can't find something, you can take them back out here. It's fine.
Yeah.
And but this being in downtown Mansfield, there's
It's easily accessible.
Easy.
It's a half mile from my house. It's a quarter mile from Brass House.
Yes.
Like, it's
so there's,
right there.
There's so many options now that we're gonna have this. It's not a huge space. It's just enough room for us to store these things, and it's right by an overhead door that we could back up to it, load up the ramps, go
right down the road from the after hours.
Yes,
like, it's all right.
It's gonna make perfect sense.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's another big thing as well. It's just it's just
crazy
collabing with people and asking questions and like the big thing is when we tell them our mission, when we're like, hey, we're fixing skate parks, we're trying to get everybody sees how difficult these streets is right now. So the streets are bad, and he's like, hey, we don't know how to help, but we love skateboarding, so maybe we can help with skateboarding.
When that business spotlight came out the other day,
I
was like, oh no, like I don't even really remember what I said,
but
I was like,
enough ago.
I was like, oh no, please make this okay. Like
I was watching, I'm like, no, my man did good.
I was like, okay, I did okay.
Because I was worried too, and I'm like, oh man, what were we talking about? That night itself was such a blur. That was the night that I also I did the WMFD one.
Yeah.
Same time you were doing that.
And there was a point where I said, oh, sorry, this is kind of a big deal right now. It's about to get loud.
Yeah.
And then the video cut off and went to like the next part because that's when they brought Deshaun.
The Deshaun came in.
Yeah. And everybody was like, ah. And then there was a point where you said, "Where's my lion?" And I was like, "That's our chairman. He's great."
That was great.
Yeah,
that was good times. Oh, I wanted to do this too. Randomly through episodes, I'm gonna say 3, 2, 1, and then we both have to say what skate trick, like just a skate trick we're thinking of. And you can't think of it. Said 3, 2, 1, laser flip. They have to do it at the same time.
Oh, I didn't know. I thought you were giving an example. Okay.
No, it's 3. Yeah, so we just so we're on the same page, we're gonna change it now. Ready? Okay. 3, 2, 1, laser
Burial
flip.
heel.
Doesn't matter.
Yeah, okay.
I'm gonna do that randomly now.
Okay.
We got to do that.
Okay. I don't know if my mind works that fast.
Fine.
But we'll try.
3, 2, 1, 360 flip.
Nollie heel.
We're close. We're on the same.
We're
page.
never gonna get it right.
There'll be one time that we get it right.
We have totally different styles of skating and what we enjoy watching. So like, it's never gonna be the same.
You never know that. The one day it does, maybe we'll get 1 million follows. Who knows?
Yeah, we won't. We won't.
That's very true.
I don't know.
Did we get anything else? I didn't hear back from Emily, but I'm gonna call her direct.
From where?
So Texas Roadhouse.
Oh, right.
Yeah, we hopefully going to do some sort of collaboration there because they talked about doing a fundraiser for us. So I'm like,
but see, that's the thing. Like all these fundraisers and events and all that, like, isn't even stuff that I mentioned in our big 5 things that we're doing. Like,
I know there's all of these other things that we have to like do some serious follow up with. Some of them, no. There's Haley. Shout out to Haley.
Shouts out.
But yeah, there's still other stuff that's going on. Yeah. Oh, the Y. The Y wanted to do stuff with us too.
Oh, imagine
That's right.
that. Oh yeah, because
I hit him up. I thought.
they were
Maybe he's
the
not one of the ones
people that did the lessons. Remember, with Ben, I think.
That's right.
Yeah.
Did we'll talk off air.
Yeah.
I'll tell you about that. That was interesting.
Yeah.
But yeah. So those are all the main things.
The main things. There's so
other stuff
many
that we're
things
forgetting.
under that. So every time we do a board meeting, I write down a list of like talking points to make sure. I mean, we got sports bins, we got all this other stuff. Like, I mean, just so much other stuff. And there was like 18 things on the list or something like that. It was forever long.
I can tell you.
Our board meeting took like an hour and a half. And that's
board meeting. Here we go.
And that's basically just so you
Yeah, it's
guys
a big
know.
list.
Yeah. Look at that.
This is all.
Look at that.
We have to talk.
And just so you guys know, basically the typical way that the board meeting goes is BJ leads it, and you just kind of say things about whatever.
Yeah.
And then if there's any questions, we'll stop or whatever. But you just move on to the next one, and it's kind of just informing everybody, with a little bit of discussion in the middle, or we had a question about this, or what do you guys think of this type thing. But like, it was an hour and a half, and probably a good 45 minutes to an hour of that is just BJ explaining everything else that's going on right now.
Yep.
Because it's just, there's so much going on.
Hey, I want to hear, we can clip this. Clip it. Boom. Clip it. Clip it. We're clipping. I want to hear from you guys. Here's what I want to do. This is my dream. Ori Rush and I did, shout out to Ori. We skated the whole bike trail one summer. I don't know. It was no fanfare, no nothing. Just he and I did it. I still have the picture of us when we started the bike trail. I see it and I'm like, man, that was dope. But I want to do it again. What do you guys think? Do you guys want to do it? Because I think the way we can do it is we can just break it up. If somebody wants to do a mile, stop at the mile marker, whatever. We can have certain stopping points. We can do like you said, a 5K on there. Stop at 5K. If somebody wants to keep going, keep going. But I want to do an event with that, and I want to see what you guys think. Do you guys want to skate the whole bike trail with me? I want to do it.
But you got to tell people how long it is. Isn't it like 18 miles or
18
something
miles.
Like that?
Yeah.
So like that's why I brought up.
It's fine.
That's why I brought up a 5K, because I think it would be cool if we could do like a 5K, like as like a set thing, like whatever it is, and then just tell people how many laps are you gonna do. Like see if people just go back and forth, but do it on the skateboard. That way, like a 4 or 5 year old could skate a 5K with maybe not 4 or 5, but like an 8 or 9 year old could skate a 5K and feel accomplished, and we can have medals and whatever.
Yeah, I think we
being.
could set it up on the bike trail. I want to partner with the bike trail.
Yeah, we can, but that's for a lot of, like, I'm just thinking of people that will finish that. Not many people are going to go the full 18 miles, which is fine. But I just think,
Can you do it? Can you do the whole bike trail?
But,
18 miles. It's not as bad as you think. We start at Butler and go to end at North Lake Park. And that last 2 miles, I think, is all like kind of like downhill grade.
That could be dangerous too for like newer skaters and things like that too.
No, it's not downhill.
Well, I know.
It is just, it is not, you're not pushing slightly uphill.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of parts where it's kind of, where you're pushing slightly uphill.
Well, I'm just thinking like, and I'm down for whatever, because like we thought about like the different stops and stuff on the bike trail. That would be cool too. But like the amount of people that would finish the 18 miles, we'll say 5-10 people.
Sure.
The amount of people that
one
could
of them.
finish a 5K is like 100 or 200 people.
Right. And
like
again,
it'd be a cool.
Like we could set it up on the bike trail that here's the stop. Here's what a 5K is.
Sure.
Get to here.
Sure.
Get to here. That's a 5K. You want to keep going, you just keep going.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, we could. Yeah, divvy it up by. We could do that.
Yeah, you could say. I mean, we could have it at 5K is 3.5 miles, 3.425 miles.
Is that how far it is? I thought it was like 2.2 or something.
How many miles is a 5K?
I thought it was like 2.
What would I like to convert? What? No. How many miles is a 5K? What would you like to convert from? I don't know what that means. I don't know.
So just do
Where's the I don't know.
I don't know what that means.
5 km to miles is 3.1.
Yeah, I knew it was 3 something.
Yeah.
It's 3 because
But-
that's what Asher has to run for.
Yeah, that'd be
school
cool
cross-country.
though. Because how do you sell 5K? Like, isn't it something?
3 miles. So
No, I know. Stop. But like, don't people say like, we'll give you $10 for every mile, or how do those kind of fundraisers work when they do them for like other stuff? I guess that's probably more around like a track.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, for 5Ks and stuff, I forget how you sponsor people for it.
Yeah, but how does
Where's the
that?
ampersand? Oh, there.
I don't know. But what if we could get a track and people could skate around the track? That'd be cool. But that might damage the track too.
I don't want to track. No, it's because I'm with Asher. Like Asher hates. Like he won't run
Okay.
track. He'll run cross country. I'll run.
Yeah,
cross
that
country.
makes sense.
Oops, wrong button. That button. So here it is. So yeah, it's 18 miles. It's like 18.1, 18 point something. But anyway, so it starts over here in Butler. So
How do we get the
0 to
bike
1,
trail
1 to
involved?
2, 2 to 3. That's right at Dill Road. So that's still kind of Dill Road's kind of still like out on this side because I think the high school's like right here.
How do we get? We need to find like an email and like start planning this.
Well, I
Because-
know who it is. I know the
Okay.
person. It is the Gorman Nature Center runs the bike trail.
Okay.
But I
'Cause
know
we can get
I
this
don't know
set
if the
up
same guy still runs.
Relatively quickly. I mean,
Yeah.
obviously we would want to partner probably with. I mean, I'm just throwing it out there with Lemon and Bean
Yeah.
to make like the starting line, finish line. That'd be super cool. Whatever it ends up being.
Mile marker 0. See, it tells you where everything is down here.
Yeah.
So
But yeah, let us know, guys, because that would be something another.
because even if we like did like a 5 mile, because that's right there in downtown
Yeah.
Belleville, because we can like say, hey, yeah, right here, and then we could talk to like the Dairy Bell that's right there and be like,
Yeah.
hey, people who finish it, would you be willing to donate an ice cream cone?
Right.
That type of stuff. So I mean, it's 18.4 miles. It says here. There you go. There's the elevation.
Oh man, we could because what I
But
was
we'd
gonna
have to have
say-
people at road crossings and stuff too. So
That's the thing.
Mansfield to Butler is 18.
What I was gonna say though is that this could become similar to the winter sessions in it being a yearly thing. Like every year,
I want that so bad.
every year we do the winter sessions, and every year we do a
Adam, I'm telling you, the
Skate
feeling,
Ohio bike trail.
the feeling of finishing that was very.
Yeah, but
it was
even
awesome.
even you said you had to like switch stances because your legs.
Yeah, you have
were,
to learn. You
Well,
have,
I
you have
know.
to learn to push switch and stuff too.
I'm just saying a lot of people aren't gonna do that.
Why not?
Like for their, I don't know, they're just not.
I don't think you can push a 5K your regular stance.
Well, it'd be a lot easier than
Well, yeah, it'd be easier if you could do it.
than what 25K, the whole bike trail.
But yeah, it's the big thing is like having.
Yeah,
I
we'd
think
have to
having
have
people at certain crossings, like where it. I'm thinking specifically like Millsboro.
Yeah, true.
And
Like crossing guards and stuff.
yeah,
We're gonna have to get like there's
we'd have to have somebody that would come
That's
out and
the thing,
stop
like,
traffic. So if somebody's
there
coming,
we're gonna have to have a team for this. That's which I'm so down
again,
with all
this is the crap that we do that
Yeah.
we could just be like, man, this is happening.
and one of these is probably happening. But that's kind of also my thought.
I'm gonna make this happen.
Well, that's I was saying like this or the 5K or whatever, but that's also my thought within the 5K is it's a lot easier to manage.
Till bike loop.
We could do a 5K with 10 volunteers.
Yeah,
To do this, we have to have 30, 40 volunteers.
I don't think we need that many.
Starting line, finish line,
Yeah,
drinks,
what are they
each
doing?
stop, each crosswalk,
I don't think we need that many.
How long is it going to be? How long does it take to
3. They took us under 4 hours.
Okay. But then we're going to have I don't know. There's
It took Ori and I under 4 hours. If I want it, I'm thinking it took us like 3:38
Well,
or something like that.
So then we're gonna have to go to 6 hours in case like somebody's slower but wants
Yeah.
to. So we're gonna have people working for like 6 hours at a time. Which it's just a lot. Which is fine. It's just a lot
I'm
to
doing
put
it.
together.
I'm
yeah.
doing it. It's gonna happen.
And we can have
I don't know if it'll
different-
happen this year, but
we can have different
I keep
things at
thinking
different
about it.
stops, like learn this or here's,
yeah, we could make it more of an event where it's just
Yeah.
like, hey, you get to here and you get to do this. Blah, blah,
Yeah,
blah, but,
yeah.
whatever. But
I don't know.
that is a big thing. It's another thing we're working on. I want to make it happen. So
Yeah.
let us know, comments or email us or I don't
so
know.
many crazy
got-
things.
We also have a Patreon you can check
Yes.
out. That's dope. So check out our Patreon. It's patreon.com/SkateOhio.
I think it's is it Skate Ohio now?
Is it Skate Mansfield still?
I think it's Skate Mansfield still.
Dude, I don't remember.
Um,
We're bad at the Patreon. If
Yeah.
you want to support us, I mean, money goes towards the.
Well, I
money
think
goes,
it's
hey,
still-
we have 11 total members now.
I think it is still Skate Mansfield because a portion goes to Skate Ohio.
Oh, that's true.
So
'Cause, I got bills for all this stuff.
Yeah.
You kidding me? It's not easy running all this stuff.
I gotta get out of here.
Oh, you gotta
and see
leave.
my
That's
daughter.
right. So, yeah, that went through.
A lot going on, guys. A lot going on. If you don't see us out and about, it's because there's a lot going on,
Free members.
and there's not many people,
Shout outs, people.
that want to donate like out at random places.
Make it happen.
Yeah.
Anyway, so these are all the things that we're working on. That is a lot.
More.
There's so much that goes into a nonprofit. Luckily, we have a fantastic board that helps us out
Yes.
with all this stuff and is very knowledgeable, and we have good people on the board that want to help and want to see this community grow. There's other people in this community that want to see it grow. We're going to make skate parks happen. I promise. That is one thing that we are working hard towards. I'm going to make more moves. I'm making moves this week. Things are happening. Get ready for skate parks. Then there'll only be one thing left to do.
Go skate.
That's what I'm saying. Bye.